That time I got reincarnated as a true dragon by NautyManu. Chapter 41. The castle is light, so how do you want to win this? Asked Rimuru as they reached the location that was supposed to be their base camp. My class is Castle Lord, Guardian, so I'm good at Ibis, said Misha. The members of each teams were divided into different classes to differentiate the percentage of magic power one would receive after casting the spell. These classes were chosen by the students after conducting a test to see their capabilities and attributes. The classes are Demon King, King, Castle Lord, Guardian, Sorcerer, Mage, Therapist, Healer, Summoner, Demon Swordsman, Cavalier, Shaman, Shaman. Each class hold a very important roles in the formation, but all of them receive the passive magic power from the spell which the king supplies. I'm a sorcerer and a demonic swordsman, answered Rimuru. Enos thought for a while and then he smiled evilly and said, I have just the perfect strategy. Looking at his smiling face, Rimuru thought, sigh, his bad habit are beginning to reappear again. Well, at least this would be fun anyways. Dash 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 dash. Sasha-sama. 3 castles have been built on the enemy's side, said one of members that was in charge of information gathering. Looking at the huge castles that were identically created, she deduced, 2 are probably traps. The Demon King, will be hidden in the remaining one. Do we destroy the castles one by one? Asked one of her other teammates. No, in such a short time Misha cannot create 3 complete Demon King castles. She will be buying time to complete and strengthen the real one. I'll swat them. She trailed off when a huge magic circle appeared in the sky engulfing both camps. Give me report about that circle now, shouted Sasha while cold sweat gathered on her forehead. Sasha-sama, it is area-wide spell. Although our shaman and sorcerers were unable to identify its real use, they deduced that it is a spell created change the environment, replied one hurriedly. Tisk, this is not good. I don't like having this unknown magic circle here. All units gather near the castle. I will go and destroy this spell. As Sasha was about to leave, she interrupted again. Sasha-sama, the enemy king Enos Voldigod has suddenly appeared in front of the castle, exclaimed one as he suddenly shouted. What? How'd he do that? Sasha asked, baffled. I don't know. The shamans were watching very carefully for approaching magic power, but he just suddenly appeared. It's some type of magic we don't know, said one of people who were in charge of data analysis. Sasha took a deep breath to calm her mind. She then started to think of various possibilities. As her background is special, she knew some spells that were generally not available to be public. No, it's not an unknown spell. If my guess is correct, it's the lost spell Gadam. And I hope it really is, she mumbled the last part quietly, hiding her fears to clash with 2 unknown spells. Wow, you really have good leadership skills, said unknown but familiar voice that made everyone shocked. What the? Why can I hear that guy's voice? And how is he listening on to our conversations? Shouted Sasha. I don't know. The magic formation has no problems. He shouldn't be able to tamper with our spells, said one of her officers, clearly flustered. Well, he can. Find the cause, quickly. There's a chance that he was hearing all our conversations. Yar yar. You guys are too noisy, Enos said in a bored voice. Then don't listen in on others' conversations, Sasha couldn't help but retort. Well, the way your team constructed the spell is way too amateurish. It's like they are basically begging me to eavesdrop on you guys, he said. You bastard, that spell was constructed with a 90% chance of absolute concealment. Even national secrets are only discussed in a 92% chance of absolute concealment, said one of the members who helped in constructing the spell. That was their masterpiece, damn it, he thought while almost crying tears of blood. Are the national secrets safe with that kind of low-quality constructed spell? Enos couldn't help but ask. At this moment everyone in Sasha's group had one thought in mind, and that is, I want to strangle this bastard. At this moment one of the people who were outside of the control room came running. Before he could speak, Sasha stopped him with a raised hand, then signaled him to come and speak to her directly. After listening to the massage, Sasha couldn't help but shout in anger. Bastard, do you look down us so much that you came to our base alone? Men, deploy every available personnel to initiate attack. Don't bother about the enemy king's interference in our communication spells, make him pay for underestimating us. Yes, Sasha-sama, shouted everyone in unison. Wow, you guys sure put some effort into building this castle, said Anos as in one of screen showed that he is already near the castle. Of course it is, this castle was constructed by 7 guardians, you won't be able to breach even the first layer, said Sasha proudly. Oh, 7 guardians made this. I guess it will be pretty sturdy. There must be a good number of traps, dungeons, reinforcements for the king, and plenty of protection. However, it's a very light castle, you know, Anos said, touching the castle directly without even batting an eye on the countless anti-magic spells that covered the whole castle like a barrier. What are you doing? Asked Sasha, feeling a bad feeling. Ignoring her, Anos grasped the walls so tight that his fingers sank into them. If you are only cautious of magic, then you don't know what a real battle is, so remember this. In the future make your castle heavier. Saying so, he lifted the entire castle up from the ground. Impossible, how is he doing this? As a king he doesn't get any boosts from the spell. Certainly, when using the power Gize depends on the class, however, there's a big difference between our base strengths. Saying so, he started to rotate the whole castle in one finger like a pro basketball player. Kya! Shouted the people who holding to their dear life in the castle. Hey, take care when falling, otherwise you'll die. Saying so, he threw the now spinning castle into someplace in the forest. The castle landed on the ground and then, boom ! Chapter 42. She is a born leader. What the hell is that moron thinking? Shouted Rimuru as she watched Anos throwing the castle to the side like a basketball on a screen. One of the many that are currently showing the one-sided beatdown Anos showing. In the strategy meeting, Anos announced that he would be the main attacker while Rimuru and Misha deals with any enemies that managed sneak past him. Since Anos doesn't need any backup, Rimuru suggested that they should make a good distraction for the enemy to focus on to reduce the likelihood of the enemy team dividing themselves. So first they made 3 Demon King castles with Misha's help to attract their attention. Then Rimuru used her self-created magic spell to further make them wary. And like the saying goes, the most terrifying is the unknown. They all regrouped to receive further instructions as they don't dare to head into unknown territory. As soon as most of their members were gathered, Anos directly teleported near them to make enemy unable to analyze the situation and make more suitable countermeasures. Well, this strategy only worked due to them being rookies and having no experience fighting a battlefield. If it was a government camp, they would send some attackers and buy more time for a counter-attack or till reinforcement arrive. And as Rimuru expected, Anos went on his quest of destroying the enemy's morale. In the early days when Anos was just became king, he went destroying from one enemy camp to another like going on a walk in the park. That's why everyone called him the Demon King of Tyranny, as everything in his eyes are not up to his standard. But despite his notorious actions, Anos would never kill an innocent who didn't come for his life specifically. So one might ask, why did Anos throw a bunch of students who are trapped in a castle to mortal danger? The answer is he's simple. They are protected by the magic circle that Rimuru created. Rimuru's magic spell has 4 main uses. 1. It isolates the space, making it free from the laws of the world. 2. It acts in a surveillance network, projecting everything in screens with different angles as the user desired. 3. It acts as wide area buff zone, where the user can do various buffs and debuffs to any target that is inside the zone. And lastly, it acts like illusion zone, where one could create various illusions to their liking. Rimuru calls this spell domain of the Empress, as she could heal, protect, monitor, etc. in the range her spell is active. And she is now healing and protecting the students who were about to get seriously injured during the fall. And with the illusion field, she shows the teachers that they were fine and survived the fall with minimum injuries, as they don't the parents go to come barking at their doorstep for an explanation and stuff. And with all of Sasha's group being royals, things may escalate to the point where they would mark him as a traitor or something. Hey Misha, how is the situation inside the castle? Asked Rimuru as she sipped some of her tea to relieve her mental fatigue due saving so many students at once. Both of them are now sitting in a round table on the balcony in one of the castles Misha created. Like Sasha deduced, Misha simply couldn't create 3 complete Demon King castles at once. So instead created 2 fakes and 1 real. Like Rimuru, Misha could also monitor the Demon King castle as its creator. So she was in charge of defending the castle. Since both of them could remotely do their duties, they both opted to stay together in case the unforeseen happened. which proved to be useful as some of the enemy team members who went on scouting had a brightest plan to take hostages to restrict Anos's moves. 10 out of 13 members have been captured, the rest are slowly walking towards the maze where we put those illusions, answered Misha as she looked at one of the screens that was showing a group of students walking carefully in a dimly lit corridor. Anos would be done with the others, so these guys may run out of time before they even reach the next floor, said Rimuru as he saw Anos moving towards the place where he threw the castle. Dash 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 dash. Cough caw asterisk. Is everyone all right? Asked Sasha as she crawled away from the now destroyed castle. Slowly the others also came out one by one. Strangely enough, none of them were seriously injured. Sasha looked at her team and felt her situation is getting worsened by the second. Although none were hurt, they all are mentally exhausted. Even if they retreated now and creates a better Demon King castle, she is sure that they would have no moral or mana to contest against that monster. Thinking for a bit, Sasha made up her mind. She then shouted, "Everyone gather around me. We are going to use Geo Graze as our last resort." But Sasha-sama, none of us have the necessary magic power to power up the spell, said one of her assistants. That may be so, but what if you all transfer all your remaining magic power to me? Then we have a better chance at casting the spell, said Sasha. But even so, casting Geo Graze only has a 20% chance of success. Is it really worth the risk? Asked another. Of course it is. Even 20% is better than 0, right? And do you really want to have the shame of being defeated this easily? We are royals, we carry the pride of our founder. We will not give up this easily. We will show that mongrel what we royals can do. Are you with me, everyone? Yes, Sasha-sama, shouted everyone in unison. Looking at this, both Rimuru and Anos thought, she has a wonderful charisma.